happening?
Hey guys, welcome to Shelly No Soso. It is a new year.
Welcome to the new year, man.
Yes guys, happy new year. I know it is the third week of January. Silete kakhulu but ke compliments betunana, compliments. I hope ningene kakuhle kulo nyaka and yeah.
Yeah, man. Kae, kibekile. But I hope you guys had a good December break. And yeah, man, it's a new year. New things are happening, or rather coming, and therefore new things will happen.
Definitely. But before we get to the video, I feel like we owe everyone an apology because we've been away for a while.
Yep.
And you guys have been watching our videos, even though we're simkile for a while, and a lot of people have been subscribing as well. Thank you so much, guys, for the love. Even though we're singeko, thank you for subscribing, watching the video, the comments. What else?
Yeah, basically all of that. Thanks for the continuous support.
Oh, guys.
It's much appreciated. But nonetheless, we are back. Yeah, what is it? We're back. But you know, it's a new year. It's a new year. We are speaking consistency. We're speaking positive things. So let's see how the year goes. So for today, we have this. I don't want to say this thing, but so. And I don't want to call it a routine, but it's a exercise.
Exercise,
okay. It's not an exercise, but it's a... So we have this thing that we do every start of the year.
And mid-year.
And mid-year, that's correct. So it's fasting, essentially. So today we're going to talk about fasting. And it's something that we do every start of every year. Particularly or specifically the second week of the year of January. So we usually do a 21-day fast.
Daniel fast.
In other words, called
not dry fast.
Yeah, Daniel fast, which is to give you a bit of perspective. A Daniel fast is when you eat fruit, vegetables,
but eating clean,
and white meat. That being chicken, fish. Not pork. No, not pork.
Not in this house.
So you eat clean. You literally eat clean. You can drink water. You can drink sparkling water. No sodas. You can have juice. But we try to stay away from anything with sugar. So no chips, no sweets. And
carbs.
Yeah, no carbs.
No carbs.
I mean, look, not entirely no carbs because we do eat like potatoes.
Like when you say carbs, we mean no, and don't wasn't this is what you guys also think, but guys, potatoes, you fried chips, potato, no.
Yes. Oh yeah, no takeaways.
Yeah, no takeaways.
No takeouts. No fried food, man. Everything is boiled.
Yeah, or we grill in the oven.
Or you use if you want to fry, maybe you can use olive oil, but just try to eat as clean as you can.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, just to give you guys a bit of context as to why Daniel fast. So obviously in the Bible, the book of Daniel, so go call this guy by the name of Daniel, and what kind of I'm sure when in Daniel chapter 3, Jehovah Jireh. That Daniel, guys. So basically, Daniel was taken out of exile by King Nebuchadnezzar. So Daniel, he was one of the soldiers, right? So the king was like, no, you know what? All the food that they will need, because they're going to war and they need to be strong. And then Daniel, no choice about he was like, whoa.
Yeah, you can't.
We're not about that life.
You can't be eating everything.
Fruit and veg,
yes.
Clean. And obviously they were like, but we're not used to this. They're like, listen to me. You will see the results. And by the time the war came, David no chose a bike. Daniel. Fresh. They looked very healthy,
yes.
And yeah. And another reason why we speak of the Daniel fast is that in this season of fasting, this is a time where we actually decrease ourselves so that the Lord can increase within us. Like the voice of God, this is basically the time where you can actually give ubawe ixesha athethe nawe, where you actually listen to him, you know. And that's when these miracles happen. And there are different ways of hearing ilizwi kabawo. Yeah, well, for example, Daniel, because he also fasted, because he also fasted in the journey of him being a soldier, you know. And the king at the time, he had the magicians, like about to interpret his dreams for him, but
they failed.
Well,
they were doing it, and then it got to a point where they couldn't interpret the dreams anymore.
Yeah, you know.
And then because Daniel was a servant of God, he was able to see the king's dream, and he interpreted the dream, and then exactly, yes, and then the king appointed him to work
to be the head of magicians, you know,
yes, because they couldn't see dreams anymore.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I think the focus here is really just on the fast, and just the picture being painted where, like Uhlele was saying, that as much as the guys thought if we eat all this meat and all this heavy food, we're going to be good, we're going to be energetic for the war. It's very key that you actually eat clean as well, because that actually gives you energy and you're always like healthy. It's actually healthier. But again, fasting, and we'll get into it now. Fasting is different. I mean, you fast for different reasons, right? The war is just an illustration, but essentially we fast because, you know, there's things you write down for the year and that you want God to hear. So we fast because you wanna almost sacrifice. It's almost like you're sacrificing something. You know, you're sacrificing, because of course with the fast there's no, like, we don't watch movies, we don't watch series, things you would do on a normal basis. We stay away from social media so that you use that time to actually connect more with God and be in more alignment with God, so that you can hear things clearer, and also in whatever you ask things that are aligned to God's will, essentially.
No, I'm actually thinking of as a scripture stated about do not be conformed into Isozomhlaba, and you do that by renewing your mind.
Yes.
Yeah, well, so obviously you feeding off the word, you praying, and you eating healthy at the same time, so that you can also give God a chance, you know. And with what was also just said right now is that you are going to make a sacrifice, because at the end of the day you're going to go to God and be like, God, this and that, you know. But in that, what are you willing to sacrifice for receive as a blessing, you know? And during the season of us fasting also, that is us having as of visions, but also don't forget God is the head, you know. If your heart's desires are not aligned to what God has planned for you, so when is this offering, you know? Because you're going to be like, but God, I prayed for this, I prayed for that, but did you go about Lendo the right way or not, you know? So hence why you also need to fast, because now you're giving God a chance to redirect your life and to create that path forward.
So, but fasts are different, right? So for example, the reason why, you know, it's very important to fast when you want to hear God clearly, or connect more with God. If you familiar with the Bible, in Matthew 4, before Jesus actually started his ministry, he actually went up to the mountain and he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. This was before he started his ministry, like to actually like the miracles, the preaching. So it was his way of actually sacrificing his body, because that was a dry fast. He didn't eat. That was like a dry fast. I don't even think he had water, but obviously it's not outlined in the Bible, but all it says that he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, and he was up in the mountain by himself, because he sacrificed his flesh, like his himself, so that he can be in a position where he can hear God very clearly. So fasts are very different. It's not only about what you want. God, I want this, I'm gonna fast. God, I want that, whatever. It's about aligning with God and sacrificing yourself, so that you can be in a position where you can actually hear God clearly. And whatever you ask, whatever he also requests from you, can align.
Yeah. Can I also add, can I please add, Glenn was about in the book of Matthew when Uba fasted for like 40 days. The devil came, Satana came and tempted Jesus, but dude, nasi songa, you know, but eating men cannot
live by bread
alone. Yabo. And that was it defense ka Jesus, but Njana, you can't give me a song because I can't live in this song alone. Yeah, but hence why even like Jesus had to align with God before he did the ministry and healing people.
So just because you're fasting does not mean you're not going to be tested. You're still a human being.
You are going to be
right?
tested.
You're still living in the world. You're still going to work. Still coming back home. You still see food. You still see other things. There's lust. There's this. There's that. All these things still exist. But it's just that when you fast, you have to discipline yourself and try by all means to really, really align and just turn a blind eye to a lot of things. So just to jump into the conversation, I've got a couple of talking points that we're gonna essentially discuss. So the first point, right, is why do people fast? I know we've just touched on it, but why do people fast?
Let me speak for myself. I won't speak for anyone. So I think everyone goes through a different season. It will mean even during the year you get various seasons. So I think beginning of the year, it's me trying to realign with God. Bawo, what's gonna happen Glonyaka? And it's not it's not necessarily missing, but God there are things that I'm gonna pray for, yes, but I think it's a matter of me wanting to align with God. And then during the year, when we did mention earlier on that mid-year we also do fast, because sometimes we get so consumed by our daily lives,
yes.
And then jiggy, it's already mid-year, you're just like, wow, when did we get here? And then Kabuyela back to like what's this, your prayer points, just like, but I haven't accomplished this.
Yes.
So
it's almost like you just refreshing.
Yes, you just want to refresh yourself by now. But is this still part of the plan for Lonyaka? You also pray for Indus in Jalo, but okay, must I not lose hope? Because when we see that time is flying and I haven't accomplished half of this that I wanted to accomplish Lonyaka, but I think also when you fast mid-year, it's just God giving you the encouragement about you can do this, you can, you're gonna get it. And then also when I fast as well, it's not a matter of me saying, let me just fast. Sometimes God will speak to me. I teach X, Y, and Z. Okay, I can't touch on that because
it's for you.
It's for me, not for you guys. And God will speak to me. And like I said, different seasons.
So when it comes to fasting, what are the benefits of fasting? If you wanna first point. No, it makes sense. That's exactly what it is. For me, mainly it's to align, like you said, align with God, and not just only for myself. There's family, there's loved ones, there's friends. So you don't just, for me, I don't just just when I pray just focus on me. I focus a lot on family, a lot even on friends. Because we different people. Maybe other people, this is not their journey. Some people maybe they don't pray or they don't believe in it. So if that's the case, you still have to pray for those people so that they're protected. In terms of the benefits of fasting or the outcomes of fasting, what would you say? Okay, so for me, I think the benefits of fasting, it's as much as we pray to God and ask things for ourselves, but I think for me the benefits of fasting is that you obviously align with God and obviously not necessarily receive the things you want, but you receive the things you want in accordance to what He wants for you. I think that's very important. So I think for me it's the alignment. It's I think also in that time you also get to understand what works for you as a person, what you want in life. I think it also gives you a bit of room to actually do some self-introspection to see where do you come from, where you are, where are you going, but essentially doing in the presence of God, so that all of that you want for yourself in your personal capacity can align with what God wants for you. For me, that's the benefit of fasting. What do you think?
Okay, so for me personally, the benefit of fasting, also he did touch on it, but in as much as we pray, we ask for things from God, but it's basically about us aligning with Ubao, But okay, in this journey that you're in, Danamu, these are the things that I want you to do. These are the things that I want you to focus on. And also in Him, He will give us strength. Yabo. Because these are ones that isn't trials and tribulations, but at the end of the day, you're gonna come out a better person, because if fast man, it does give you amandla.
It does give you, it does.
And you can get direction. But yes, you are gonna feel very lost, as if you're not but like Elise Gaba will always come back to you, he's gonna speak to you, he's gonna speak through you sometimes. He must speak to you in a vision or kind of that still small voice, and also and I feel like those are the benefits of a fast.
So what's the difference between fasting and dieting?
Oh, okay. So a diet, guys, a diet is basically you saying about okay, it's like but after younger londo, you're still gonna come back home, watch TV, we're gonna seriously mamele trap music where they swear a lot and you feel like I wonder wrong when that happens, after doing younger londo.
So you're saying mamele trap after fast?
The mamele trap. But essentially basically like that's a diet. You're eating clean, you're gymming, you're working out, doing all that, but you still do other stuff, like worldly stuff.
Yeah. So I think for me, it's literally, it's the practice, it's what you practice in that time. So by sacrifice, I think we're trying to say that, the things you do with your time, movies, series, you chill, come home, you chill, have a glass of wine, listen to music, you unwind, social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. So in a time of a fast, you put all those things aside because you want to solely focus on God, right? You want to be able to hear and listen, clearer than you would on a normal day-to-day. So you actually put aside the things you would do on a normal day-to-day, and you try, focus on reading the Word, praying, so that you're in a position where you can hear things clear from God. You can, practice things in a more, in a better manner.
And during that time, you become very vulnerable, because some of the temptations, this happens almost every time when you're fasting. When you're fasting, you're eating clean, then you took donuts, croissants,
yeah.
I'm so tempted, but hey.
So a diet would then just be staying away from those things and just doing whatever you would do. You come back, you do whatever you would do on any day. So fasting is purely just,
devoting it to God,
yes.
And the Word, and praying and worshipping, and obviously decreasing yourself so that you can listen to His Word.
So is fasting just a spiritual thing? Do you think it's just a spiritual thing, or for spiritual people?
It is spiritual. I've heard of people saying, "Man, no, when you fast, in what context does it? Go on to fast, go to fast when you eat clean. Apparently, you're fasting." But I think it is a spiritual thing because.
But some people, when you eat clean, not to cut you off, you are fasting, but it's part of your diet. So, for example, it's called intermittent fasting, where you don't eat the first half of the day because it's part of your diet. So. That's called intermittent fasting. It's a method used within a diet. So, hence I'm saying, I think let's rather.
So, like when Jesus fasted for 40 days.
No, but that's hence I'm saying. You were still explaining it's a spiritual thing. Why? It's a spiritual thing. Why?
Well, personally, I've never fasted out of my spiritual journey, so I'll never speak on anyone on behalf of anyone else. Let me just put in God a show, So I think it is a spiritual thing because it's like during the time when you're fasting, you are led by the Spirit. There's so many things that happen. Like I said, you also become very vulnerable. Like I recall there was a time, I think it was like in 2020 or 2021, I can't remember. But yo, ndalila. On a day-to-day, souls lila. Never. But during that fast, I was so vulnerable. Like wrong. Like you're being ripped in your spirit. Like yay. I was not okay. And it is spiritual because you're being redirected, you know, like by a lot of by the spirit, like a lot of things things that you don't know, you won't even understand.
But of course, it's not just a Christian thing, right?
No.
You know, there's other people believe in different things, which is 100% okay. So, but yes, we think just the basis of it does come from a spiritual perspective. You know, it is practiced by spiritual people, regardless of the spiritual journey that you follow. You know, but it is a spiritual thing. We're on the same page, yeah. So, I mean, lastly, is fasting for everyone?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah,
it is for everyone. I think. It's not something that is entitled to a certain group of people. Anyone can fast. Like we just said now, I think these last 2 points actually like almost go hand in hand. You know, anyone can fast. Again, it's your journey. You choose how you do it or what you want to fast from. I think the basis or the biggest thing about a fast is that you gotta fast from something. I think any fast, whatever fast you're doing, you have to fast from something, because fasting means that you are redirecting your attention from what you would do on a normal day. So there has to be something that you fast from, so that it opens time, you know, for you to focus on your journey, your spiritual journey. So you have to fast from something. You can't just say, I'm fasting, okay, and then you come back and watch a movie. You might as well just go on a diet and just leave it. Honestly, just leave it, because you're starving yourself essentially, or just call it a diet. But fasting, I think for me personally, is you're taking something away from your daily routine to dedicate to God. Whether it's you being on your phone when you come back from work, maybe in that hour or 2 hours you might read the Bible. Whether it's in the morning you go to gym, so now you move from going to gym in the morning to the evening. So you use the time in the morning to spend time with God. So you have to fast from something.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, guys, that's literally it from us. Thank you for your continued support yet again. There's a lot coming from us. We're going to be sharing quite a bit on our personal social platforms, so please look out for that. But nonetheless, thank you for continued support. We really appreciate it. Subscribers have grown, even though we were quite absent for quite some time, and we really appreciate that. So we you guys deserve a lot of content from us, so a lot is coming.
We're owed to you guys.
So from me, Soso, from Shelly, no Soso. Cheers, guys.